beautiful souls. Selena Ella Moon here, the founder of Soulpreneur Institute. If you are a spiritually led entrepreneur and you are on the path of growing your business and growing your heart and your spiritual connection, you are in the very right place. So today I want to do a specific reading actually from this book. I was guided to do a reading, and there's this book called Life is Calling that I love working with, and sometimes I just like open to a random page. I find that all the messages in here are always bang on, and today I was guided to actually do this for your reading. So I picked number 50. As you can see there's just little short passages that are numbered, and this one says that I am allowed to do things for me as well. It is the nature of man to try to please, not just for others, but to feel good inside himself. We learn to react and interact with life through the people around us when we are young and impressionable. We learn what brings us trouble and also what brings us praise and keeps us happy. We learn that pleasing others gives us a pleasing feeling too. We are encouraged to place the needs of family and friends before our own, but sometimes we can learn this too well. When the time that we have left is too sparse, we can forget about our own needs entirely. So just for today, notice when you forget your own self. Take a little time out here and there when you need to and take care of the things that crop up. Life is supposed to be fun. So when things get too heavy for too long, readjust the load and be kind to you. Move with a spring instead of a limp. So I thought this was a really interesting message, given that a lot of entrepreneurs are doing a lot of different things. You know, whether you are trying to hold it all together through your products or your services, your marketing, your collaborations, your admin, whatever it is, your accounting. I don't know where you are in your business, but what I do know is that when we give ourselves the opportunity to take a step back from making everyone else happy and taking care of ourselves first, what ends up happening is it can feel like there's this inner battle. And that inner battle can sometimes feel really overwhelming because of that people pleasing tendency. And the people pleasing tendency usually comes when we are earlier in life and there are certain things that we do that get validated through our family and our friends over and over and over again until it becomes crystallized in our belief system that I need to behave this way in order to be loved. And so when we have this strong belief that we need to behave a certain way in order to be loved, and that certain way compromises our own well-being, then we move through life compromising our own well-being over and over and over again. And this can lead to personal sabotage. And if you are a business owner, that level of sabotage will not only affect you, but it will also affect the success of your business. And so what I want to do today is I just want to give you guys a little bit of a boost to help you reconnect to the parts of yourself that are asking for your attention, that are asking for you to really pay close attention to your emotions, to your senses, to your intuitive nudges. Look at the areas of your life that are saying, hey, pay attention to me. And it might be something that is more physical. It might be something that is more emotional. It might be a relationship in your life that actually fuels you, but you're just putting it on the back burner because you feel like you have too many other things going on. Always remember that you want to recalibrate and re-nourish yourself whenever you feel depleted. So this is just a little nudge to pay attention to yourself because you don't have to hold the world on your shoulders as an entrepreneur as much as we often think we do. The hustle culture that a lot of us grew up in can feel sometimes overwhelming on the system, and our nervous system can really break down if we're not careful. So that's my whole spiel on that. Now, as you know, I think I've shared with you in a previous video that I am working on a oracle deck called Angels and Elephants for Soulpreneurs. And it's all about bringing in different elements of the angelic realm with the more practical guidance to help entrepreneurs like yourself to get the messages that you need that are more pronounced, that are more specific to where you might be. And this is a work in progress. I do card readings in my Soulpreneur Institute from here, but today I was guided to do one for you as well. I don't actually have the deck. It's literally a working copy that I'm going to be pulling up on my laptop while I'm making this video. So if you can just give me a moment here and I will share some of the messages that are coming up from here. Now, interestingly enough, the number that kept coming up was 51. So there are 100 cards in this deck, and I was praying about, well, what is the card that I meant to share with you today? And this is specifically in the angel category around the notion of soul mission. Okay. So card 51 says that your future self is calling, and you're meant to answer the call and step into your next evolution. The wisdom is that a river does not question where it is going. It follows the pull of gravity, trusting the land to guide its course. And your future self is calling you toward a reality where your highest potential has already been realized. The whispers of your next evolution come as these little intuitive nudges, flashes of insight, or just persistent longings. So the question is, will you answer? And I want to talk about some of the emotional blocks that could come up around this for you. So, for example, if you're somebody that has a fear of change, you might be feeling uncomfortable in your current identity, even if you know that you're meant for more. So, this is something to confront because if you're too attached to your current identity, then you're not able to grow into the next version of yourself. So, you can ask yourself, what version of your identity are you actually calling in? And ask if you can just loosen up some of the tension around being able to step into the next chapter. Okay. The next one is a resistance to growth. So if you're one of those people that avoids expansion because you're afraid of failure or success, you definitely want to look into this aspect of yourself as well. Or if you're just not feeling ready, if you're waiting for the perfect moment instead of stepping into your future now, that can also limit you at this time. Stop waiting for the perfect moment if you're a procrastinator. For those of you guys who are naturally divinely inspired and you seem to always just get going with things at the right time, this message isn't for you. But if you're one of those people that tends to procrastinate, hold back on things, you're not necessarily listening to that inner spark that's guiding you at certain times, you really want to stop this waiting around business and really step into the ability to take the right steps forward so that you can realize your dreams, right? So one of the things you can do is you can start to see fear as a sign of growth. It basically means that you're stepping into something bigger. All right. You also want to make choices from your future self's perspective. So rather than the person you are today in your own mindset, ask for a message from your future self to say, show me your perspective. How would you handle the situation? Who would they be if they already had what they desired? And be that within yourself. Then you can take small, bold steps towards your next level, even if you feel unready for it. So the affirmation for this is that I align with the wisdom of my future self and I take inspired action. Now, when you take inspired action, it doesn't feel forced. It feels like it's like this inner part of you that just drives you and you get magnetized to specific ways of doing things. And you also will get rejected energetically from things that are not right for you. So if you are doing something that is taking up your time, that is just keeping you in the same position over and over again because you're actually afraid to try something different, well, then you might want to take a leap of faith and try something different. Now, I'm also been getting called here to pull from the animal deck. So I'm sure there's a couple additional messages to this that we can tap into. Essentially, it just feels like some of us here need to really connect with who we're becoming rather than who we were or who we are today. Because who we are today is just the culmination of everything we've been through. But if we can allow ourselves to have a better life experience, starting with our own perspective, starting with our own personal transformation and willingness to forgive or to have a look at our shadow, we're going to have a lot more inspiration, which is the Peacock card that came up here. I don't know if you can see it. I love this card. This card is saying that your inspiration is what you're going to let lead you. And when you let that inspiration lead you, it's going to lead to a lot of beautiful, magical results. The frog card came up, which also represents healing. And I love this card because I feel like when we're healing, we're also naturally coming closer and closer and closer to ourselves. And we have to take the aligned inspiration and action that comes from the healing. So it's not like we're just healing and healing and healing and healing nonstop. It's like a little bit of healing, a little bit of divine inspiration and just divine inspired action, a little bit more healing, a little bit more of this. And it's like this back and forth that I find actually works much better than going all into one or the other. And this actually mimics the balance and the cycles of who we are. So hopefully this reading resonated with you. Let me know in the comments what you're stepping into, what the message is from your future self, and I look forward to seeing you thrive in our next video. Bye now.